John Kramer lectured in psychology at Queen's University Belfast for over 30 years and has played an active role in applied sport and exercise psychology throughout that time. John has worked with national and international teams and athletes from over 50 sports and continues to publish widely, including his most recent best-selling book, Pure Sport.
And so we move to the last leg of our mental marathon, putting you on the starting line in the best possible psychological shape and equipping you with the mental skills to carry your journey through to a successful conclusion. By this stage, if you followed the advice on offer in earlier clips, you should be feeling that the hard practice is behind you, and you certainly don't want to arrive at the starting line feeling jaded, but energised by a good job well done and genuinely looking forward to the challenge ahead. Before going any further, let's just recap on a few key learning points to help keep you on the straight and the narrow. First, remember never to lose the inherent love of the activity itself and who you're doing it for, chiefly for yourself. Don't carry anybody else's baggage with you. Second, use self-talk in a positive way, not to beat yourself up, but to reward you for all those things you've already achieved. Third, keep looking back over your training diary to reinforce positive messages and see yourself inching in baby steps from where you were months ago to where you are now, with realistic expectations and a goal that is challenging but attainable. Fourth, remember to use imagery and mental practice in a positive way to enhance your running, and when the negatives kick in, show them the psychological red card. Fifth, don't try to concentrate for long periods of time, but remember to turn your focus on and off just like a shower. And when you're running, don't spend too long constantly asking yourself, how do you feel? You won't always get an answer that helps you drive you forward. Sixth, have different forms of self-talk to carry you through stages of the marathon and key moments in the race itself. By now you may have mantras or tunes that help you maintain your rhythm and your stride pattern, knowing that there are also other words or images that you can bring to mind at key times. Seventh, remember that your body will be at its most efficient when you stay in your own zone or eyes off. Keep working on those techniques to manage stress in a positive way, the good nerves, not the bad nerves. Eighth, keep in mind the 3 C's and you won't go far wrong. Control, confidence and commitment. All important, but no one of these should be too important. Keep them all in balance and in harmony. Ninth, remember that you want to arrive on the starting line as fresh and as light as possible. In other words, F it, do it, think about it. There'll be lots of times afterwards to relive the race, but during the race itself, never look backwards at what has happened, or you could easily fall over. And 10th and last, make sure you give yourself permission to enjoy it, everything about it, the good, the bad, the ugly, of what is, after all, a fantastic adventure. In these final stages of preparation, it is important that you arrive at the start of the race fresh and ready. After all, there's no point in undoing all the good work you've put into this point by getting the very last part of your preparation wrong. Ideally, this last phase should begin a few days before the race itself. First of all, it's important to familiarise yourself with the route itself, either by driving, walking or jogging it. Look out for significant landmarks or parts of the route that are memorable. In this way you can start to break the race down into manageable chunks. 26 miles is a lot to take in at any one go. Instead, try to think of it not as a whole, but as more manageable, shorter sections. You can even attach catchphrases or buzzwords to each, so that you can begin to tick them off one at a time, and thereby give yourself those all-important pats on the back. Avoid making any single part too special or exceptional. Instead, make each unique, especially towards the end of the race. Don't present these as significant or major challenges. Instead, treat them all in their own rights. In the few days leading up to the race, you should avoid spending too long thinking about it. But when you do go over it in your mind, avoid the general what-ifs and instead place sequences in your head, sequences of the race, and always in a positive way. Too many athletes spend too long thinking about their sport in an often unstructured or haphazard way. Try to think instead about quality time, and in between enjoy your timeouts to keep you refreshed, and plan to have lots of these. For some people, the night before a race can be tricky, so why not have some activity planned to keep yourself busy, maybe going out with friends or watching a movie. Anything that will keep you from burning up unnecessary energy by cogitating to no real advantage. Going to bed too early is also to be avoided. A good night's sleep can easily slip into the opposite if you disrupt your normal sleep patterns, perhaps because you're excited about tomorrow. Instead, whatever's your normal bedtime and routine, stick to it. And if you then find yourself unable to drop off, there are a few techniques you can try. Whatever else you do, don't just lie there and try and fight it, a recipe for disaster. Instead, think of a way of breaking the cycle, or more correctly, the circle. Most techniques for dropping off to sleep are based around the simple principle of thinking in a linear or straight fashion rather than a circular one. When we worry, we tend to think round and round and round. To break this vicious circle, one thing you could try is just allowing your head to wander aimlessly in a straight line from random thought to random thought or even images, however nonsensical or silly these may be, without ever asking yourself along the way, why did you make that connection, or why did you think that? Never worry about where your head is going, just let it wander. This technique actually takes quite intense concentration and practice, but if you work at it, you'll find yourself drifting aimlessly into sleep in a matter of minutes. Another technique some people use is to recall every moment of your day, from the time you first woke up, again in a linear fashion. This also takes concentration, but it does work. The morning of the race is best not spent lounging around, as again too much head time can be dangerous. Instead, keep yourself busy and try to avoid asking yourself how you're feeling. Everything is now done, and now is simply the time to get on with it and just do it. It is obviously sensible to make arrangements to arrive at the start in good time and remove any uncertainties about things like transport, your kit and so on. Take all those things out of the equation. For those who are new to running a marathon, the hustle and the bustle of the start can be often surprising and off-putting. But once you know it's going to happen, you're forewarned, you're forearmed. It will be like that, but you may have some techniques that you could bring to bear, for example, creating a little world for yourself during that time. A zone, not somebody else's, your own, and then you set off, again at your own pace and not at somebody else's. And that's that. I'm tempted to end by saying good luck, but that would simply contradict everything else I've discussed so far. Luck has got nothing to do with this. Through systematic mental preparation, you've made your own luck, and that will carry you through. Now go out there and just enjoy it.